It's December 11th, 1971, and the Toronto Maple Leafs are at home as the Chicago Blackhawks arrive at the Gardens. This is Molson Canadian Maple Leaf Classics on Leafs TV. The Blackhawks are led by Bobby Hull and brother Dennis, along with former Leaf Jim Pappen. The Leafs are breaking in a young defense led by Rick Lee, Brad Selwood, and Brian Glennie. Hello once again, everyone. I'm Joe Bowen, and welcome to another edition of Molson Canadian Maple Leaf Classics on Leafs TV. The Leafs and Hawks prepare for this mid-season battle at the Gardens. The World Hockey Association is beckoning in the not-too-distant future. Both teams shortly will be hit hard by the upstart league. But here in December of 1971, the Hawks are tied with Minnesota with 39 points each in the Western Conference, while the Leafs are fourth in the East with 28 points. Paul Henderson is off to a good start for the Maple Leafs. He has 16 goals thus far. The Blackhawks lost to Montreal in the Stanley Cup Finals last year, but already the Winnipeg Jets of the WHA are after Bobby Hull, although it is said Hull is holding out for at least $1 million. The princes of the Puck Palaces tonight are Vezina Trophy winner Tony Esposito for the Chicago Blackhawks, and for the Maple Leafs, it's veteran Jacques Plante. Because it's December 11th, 1971, the Leafs and Hawks at the Gardens. You're watching Molson Canadian Maple Leaf Classics on Leafs TV. Bobby Hull in his last year with the Chicago Blackhawks will score 50 goals again this season. Brother Dennis will hit 30, and Stan Mikita will add 39. For the Leafs, Paul Henderson will score 38. Norm Ullman and Ron Ellis each will tally 23.
A group at center ice. The referee is Art Scove, number 2. And the linesmen are Ron Hogarth, number 35, and Leon Stickle, number 30. And goalkeepers tonight for the Chicago Blackhawks, number 35, Tony Esposito. And for the Toronto Maple Leafs, number 1, Jacques Plante. Stan Mikita, 21 at center. Dennis Hull, number 10 on the left side, and number 20 is Fitz Coral. Magnuson is 3, Garrett is 4. And Monahan, 20 of the Leafs, comes out. He's got McMillan, 12, and Keon, 14. The three of them over the line for Monahan. Monahan takes his shot. He's a catch. And Keon tried to deflect it into the goal, and Esposito lost sight of it.
Take another look at that one. Gary Monahan with a sharp shot off that left wing, picking up the pass. And there's the shot. Esposito taking it on his arm and then losing sight of the puck as he looked behind the net. And Keon coming in, and just at the last moment, puck being checked away by Keith Magnuson.
Magnuson back to the hot goal. Keon after him. Magnuson still in possession. Got it for Mikita. Comes out to Coral. Coral over the blue line over at center. And he's got the puck into the lead zone. Plante easily handling it to McMillan. Bill McMillan for Gary Monahan. Back to McMillan. McMillan at center with Keon. A long shot wide of the net. Dennis Hull shot it up for Stan Mikita. Bond stopped in. Gary Monahan shoots the puck back into the hot zone. Magnuson back to the goal. Shot it into the corner. Jarrett ahead to Stan Mikita. Mikita up at center. He shot it through. Bond stopped it. Monahan back for it. Mikita checked in. Mikita kind of centered. He did. There's a shot. Bond stopped out. Jarrett takes a shot that beats Keon, a pass intercepted as Ellis nearly got loose. Jarrett shoots it right back in again. Bob Bond after it. Bond for Ellis. Stopped by Dennis Hull, and he takes back at center. A pass for Chico Mackey. Stopped by Monahan, and he shot it into the crowd on a deflection. Kip Martin at center ice with Mackey and Bobby Hull on the wings, and we have White and Stapleton on the defense, facing Ullman, Henderson, and Ellis, Selwood, and Dory. White gives it to Stapleton at center. His pass for Martin. Puck slides Plante, tipping it over to Ellis. Ellis off the boards for Jim Dory. Dory covered by Bobby Hull. He knocks Hull down. Going to be a penalty here. A holding penalty to Jim Dory. Jim Dory, a holding penalty at 1:46. The Leafs are shorthanded. There's no score in this hockey game. Pat Stapleton. Off the boards it goes to under Lacroix. Lacroix takes a look. Bond watches him. It's up in front for Bobby Hull. Shot. Oh, and Jack Bond stopped that kickless shot by Bobby Hull.
Bobby Hull taking that pass as Andy Lacroix set him up in the middle. and he got his puck on it, and that shot caught high just below the face mask, and a good save by Pond. Very alert.
18:04 remaining in the first period. There's no score. Hawks with the advantage as the Leafs shoot it down the ice. 50 lead. Pat Stapleton going back for it. Mike Pellick is out there with Dennis Duperry. Bond and Lee. Stapleton leading a 5-man rush. A long shot off the boards. Clock came out of the net, knocked it into the corner, flipped it up for Pellick. Pellick holding it with his skate, lost it. It's Kip Martin to Lacroix. Lacroix back to Stapleton. Stapleton off the boards to Lacroix again. Andre Lacroix trying to come from the side, and he passed it. It'll hit Bond's stick. Lacroix again over to Stapleton. A shot! That's deflected wide. Bond letting it loose. Sent it out and touched the body home. It's too well covered. Dennis Duperry couldn't get away. Pellick does up the center, and he's checked by Lacroix. Lacroix giving a shove, but has possession. Dropping it back to Bobby Hull. Here comes Bobby Hull. And he couldn't get it over the line. Mackey will try his luck. Back to Hull. Hull chased back by Pellick. Bobby Hull over to Pitt Martin. Martin coming in on the right side. Passed it in front. Dennis Duperry lost possession. Bond ran to Lacroix. Down goes Lacroix. The puck is loose. Chico Mackey centers at the circle, and here's his shot, and that's wide. 19 seconds left in the penalty as Bobby Hull hits one out Pellick. Out to center. Stapleton a long shot. Klopp got that. Flipping it up for Mike Pellick. He shot it, but not out. Bobby Hull takes a look. Lets his shot go. Klopp stopped that. It's against the boards. Pitt Martin getting it to Hull. And he's stopped by Dory. Dory with Sittler. Sittler over the line. Hits his shot, and that's wide. Sittler was knocked down. Bobby Hull coming out of his own zone. Clearing it to Stapleton. Stapleton was stopped by Tachier. Pellick leaves the ice. Brad Selwood. To Jim McKinney. Up to Darryl Sittler. For G. Tachier. He takes a long shot. That was right on Esposito. Clearing it over to number 17, Darryl Magg. Harrison knocked him flying. Here's Tachier with the puck. Trying to center it. There it is, hit by Harrison. Tachier a shot. Esposito's got a hold of that and play his call. Jimmy Harrison certainly putting on an aggressive display.
Yeah, he and young Maggs ran together there, and Maggs found out that Harrison's a pretty tough customer. But that was a nice move by Guy Trottier coming out from behind the net, and he forced Tony Esposito a pretty good save.
There's no score in this first period. Pat Stapleton, number 12, gets it out on the left wing. Ryan Campbell, he hit O'Shea. White shoots the puck in. Selwood back for it. Selwood to Harrison. Harrison to Tachier. Tachier over to Dory. Back for Tachier behind him. Offside from inside the blue line over the red line at center. Harrison against Ryan Campbell. Maggs is 17 and O'Shea is number 11 for the Hawks. Jim Dory straight up at center. Got the puck over the line. Sittler got the puck and then was checked by Campbell, who came from nowhere to cover him. Then Sittler stole the puck again. Then White covers up for the Hawks, getting it to the blue line. Maggs missed a body check from Dory. White has possession. White with a pass for Campbell. Clark came out of the net, flipped it into the corner. Back of the goal for Dory. Dory straight down the ice to Harrison. Harrison flicks it in. Esposito shoots it around on the board. Comes for Dory. Dory took a whack at it. Sittler tries to help him out. White on a deflection off Dory. Ends up on Campbell's stick. Campbell over the blue line with O'Shea. Took a shot wide of the net. White moves up with a hard shot. That's off the target. And it rebounds out to center ice. McMillan just failed to get loose. McMillan has possession. Shot it to the Hawk line, and the two teams are changing while the play is in progress. Stan Mikita trying to go around Dory. Dory flipped it over to the wing. McMillan trying to shove at Dennis Hull, and it's Keon getting it out to center. Bill White, a long shot off the target. Dennis Hull let one fly. And Keon in possession.
Chicago penalty to number 3, Magnuson. 2 minutes for interference. The time 7:01.
Magnuson has a interference penalty at 7:01. We have 12:59 remaining in the first period. There's no score. Here it goes back there. McKinney is shot right in front of the net. A drive. Hit the post. Dave Keon back at his blue line. With Elman. Ellis takes the pass. Goes around Jarrett. Last possession of the puck to Bobby Hull. Bobby Hull trying to get away from Elman. Shot it out to center ice. Keon to McKinney. McKinney with Elman. Outside is Henderson. And the face-off will be outside the Chicago blue line.
Number 18, Jim McKinney, made a great move with that blue line. The only trouble is his right wing, Ron Ellis, had hopped in ahead of him about a stride. And a nice move by McKinney.
Keith Magnuson has 1 minute and 32 seconds left in his penalty. There's no score in the game. We have 12:31 remaining in the first period. Eric Nestorenko, number 15, out there now for the Hawks. With Luan Gotti, White, and Jarrett. Jim McKinney trying to get around. What he does, he gets his shot away. Keon looked for a rebound, but there wasn't one. Nestorenko carrying it but not out. Henderson trying to hold it in. Along the blue line. Finally, Elman digs it out to McKinney, who's lost his glove. McKinney to Keon. Over for Henderson. Henderson let his shot go. That's wide. Ellis dropping it to Elman. Elman trying to get in front. Shot it over for Keon. Broken up by Nestorenko. Nestorenko gets it down the ice. And it's Elman going back for it. Elman, Ellis, Keon, and Henderson. Straight up the ice in center. A pass for Keon for Henderson. And that was broken up at the blue line. Now then Ellis will try his luck. He gets over the line. Too well covered by Angotti, and Angotti shoots it down the ice. And the checking of the Hawks has been rather perfect here in this first period as they have kept at least so many real threatening chances. Angotti's got it again for the Hawks. He finds an opening and shoots it down the ice. There's only 8 seconds left in Magnuson's penalty. Rick Lee coming down over the blue line at center. A pass for Monahan. Monahan stops. Got it for Elman. Elman got it right back to Vaughn. Vaughn shoots. Elman trying to get a whack at him, and a shot down the ice by the Hawks. And it touched the Leaf player on the way down, so there's no icing on the play. 10:42 remaining in the first period. No score. And the Hawks are back at full strength. Donnie Marshall out there now for the Leafs. Bobby Hull in possession. Trying to go around the corner. Shot the puck into the corner. It goes deflecting the clock. Monahan back of the net. Shot it around for McMillan. McMillan and Pitt Martin. McMillan checked by Mackey. Mackey for Bobby Hull. It ends up on Rick Lee's stick. Then for Donnie Marshall. Marshall up at center. Pitt Martin spun him around. Martin then a pass for Hull, intercepted by Lee. And the play is a little scrambly here with the checking so close. Monahan to McMillan. McMillan up at center. His pass hit Magnuson's feet, but he goes back to cover. Magnuson pulled away from McMillan and Marshall. He's a four-man rush to Bobby Hull. Trying to go around Vaughn. Vaughn grabs him. And there's going to be a penalty there to Bob Vaughn. This game is coming to you from Maple Leaf Gardens in Toronto.
No score first period. The Blackhawks and the Maple Leafs, December the 11th, 1971. Dave Hodge is our guest, and David, television has changed. The coverage has
21 of this first period. Puck comes back to Pat Stapleton. Stapleton takes a look, and he was checked by Dennis DePerry. He shot the puck down the ice. DePerry is out there with Pellick, Dory, and Selwood. Bobby Hull then to Pitt Martin. Martin up at center over the red line. He just shot it in. Dennis DePerry deflected it near his own net. Then he shoots it off the boards. It was knocked out. Stapleton waits, clears it over and under the claw, but Pitt Martin couldn't get out in time. Neither could Chico Mackey. Nine minutes and 12 seconds. Look at Jettown scoreboard. Montreal all tied up there. 1-1 with Minnesota. Vancouver over Boston 1-0. And it's Detroit leading Philadelphia 3-1. All in the first period. Bobby Hull to Pat Stapleton to Pitt Martin. Martin over the red line to the Leaf blue line. Shot it in under the claw. Went after it. Dennis DePerry's there first. Left it there. The claw centered it. Selected near front. It was knocked down with a glove. And play is called.
Manny, the claw broke in there pretty well on DePerry, and a deflection there. And there's the claw. There's the stop by Plot. And here again, he did the same thing as Esposito did at the other end. He lost sight of it for a moment, but the whistle had blown just before the play here, but he still dragged that foot. But you know, that's that trouble, those masks, the goalkeeper's losing sight of it.
Jim Dory shoots the puck down the ice. There's 1 minute and 8 seconds left in the penalty to Bond. Stapleton leaving it to Bobby Hull. There he goes. Pitt Martin on his left. Mackey on the right. To the Leafs defense. Try to go around Dory. Goes into the boards with Pellick. Pitt Martin in. He bumped into Lacroix. Martin still has it. He's checked by Dennis DePerry. And Mike Pellick to Dennis DePerry. And DePerry makes sure of it by getting it out and down the ice. Stapleton turns around again, though. Over to Mackey. Mackey coming to the Leafs blue line. And over. He falls. And the puck was saved by Selwood down the ice. Leafs getting a change of their defense corps now as Lee and McKinney are out there together. Keon and Monahan. Sam Makita for the Hawks. A long pass under the claw, wide of the net. Makita centering it on off the boards. Stapleton lets one go. McKinney knocks that down. It goes to Stapleton again. Lacroix trying to center it. He shot it between Stapleton and Bobby Hull down the ice. Vaughn is on. Bobby Hull at his own blue line, shot it off the glass. Monahan covers Stan Makita. Rick Lee for Monahan, off his skate. Then Cole tried to get loose. Rick Lee has possession. A pass for Touche over the line to Harrison, and he shot it way wide. Doug Jarrett to Dennis Hull. Touche covered him. The puck slid to center ice. Jim McKinney shoots it right back into the corner. Came out in front along the boards to Magnuson to Cole to Makita. Makita centered up over the line. Here's the shot. It hits Vaughn. The rebound is taken by Dino Sittler. And of course, as it was deflected back into the Leaf zone, Cole hitting it with his stick on the way out causes an offside. Bob Vaughn falls along the boards. Shot it out and down the ice to recover, and it's Magnuson back for it with 6:43 remaining in this first period of close hockey. Here's a chance for Dennis Hope breaking over the line, but again, Cole nullified that rush by stepping over the blue line. You'd almost think they're in a playoff here.
They're playing an awful lot of hockey in center ice.
Jimmy Harrison with Darryl Sittler. A long shot by Harrison. Missed the target. The rebound for Crutchy. Couldn't get to it. Sittler in the corner. Trying to get it back to Crutchy. And they hold it against the boards, and there's no further play. No score between the Blackhawks and the Toronto Maple Leafs in this first period. We've had 3 penalties, 2 to the Leafs, and 1 to the Blackhawks. Dennis Hope in possession to Keith Magnuson, back of the net. Over to Jarrett. Jarrett returns to Makita, broke it up by Jimmy Harrison. Harrison coming up to the hot line, shot it in, and was given a bump by Cole. Jarrett, a long pass to center, went between Vaughn and Lee, and out of that comes that clock. It goes to the corner. Cole and Makita. Makita centering it. Dennis Howe has possession, took a long shot. Bob Vaughn in the corner, trying to get by Makita. Centered right out to Harrison. He gives it to Sittler. Over to Crutcher. Back to Sittler to Harrison. Harrison stopped, took a shot, and he missed the net. Here's Crutcher coming from the side. Darryl Sittler, a backhand, right on. And it's picked up by Tony Esposito. Five minutes and 23 seconds remaining in the first period as Jim McKinney's shot. That seemed to hit O'Shea. Here's Ullman in front of the net, trying to get it over to Ellis, and it's shot by Pellick down the ice. McKinney, Brian Campbell nearly got it loose. Now then Henderson nearly had Ellis loose, and Ellis shot the puck around on the glass. It's behind the net. Esposito to Bill White. It's broken up. Here's Ullman from the Henderson. Comes around on the board. Pellick covered his man. Then Henderson knocked it back to McKinney. Up for Ullman. And his shot for Ellis. Stapleton. It hit Ellis. Ullman tried to center it. Gets it out in front. Broken up by White. White for Campbell. Campbell is dumped by Ellis. Going to be a penalty here with a release for Griffin. Henderson has the puck. Play is called Ellis. Ron Ellis picked up his first penalty of the season and is for tripping at 15:42 with 4 minutes and 18 seconds remaining in the first period. That's the 4th penalty of the game and the 3rd to the Leafs. And there's no score in the hockey game. Jim Dory shot it down the ice. Esposito stopped it. Not Stapleton. Coming up to his own blue line, up at center. Pass over for Bobby Hull, cutting in the left wing. Couldn't get his shot away. Dennis Terry cleared it for Mike Pellick. Then Hull and Pellick cut together. And it's cleared out to center ice. Stapleton for Andre Lacroix. Lacroix to the Leafs blue line. Drops it back. Dory and Pellick get it out. Stapleton takes a look again to Martin. Martin over the line, and he's checked, and the puck is knocked back up the center. This is certainly not the regular power play for the Hawks at this time anyway. Dory wrapped it to the blue line, but not out. A long shot knocked down by Brad Selwood. Selwood a touring pass. Down the way. Esposito came way out of the net to check him. Hit Martin up the center with Mackey. Over the line. Bobby Hull closing in. Hit Martin for Andre Lacroix. Back of the net. Centered it. Shot by Josh Clark. There's no right on. The puck is not over that red line.
We'll get a chance to look at that again. And Doc Font come across there as Lacroix dumped it out. Chico Mack is standing right on the crease, and I don't know how he kept that out, but he just came across there with that bottom leg of his. Brad Selwood coming in and getting Chico Mackey and dumping him over Jacques Plante, but Plante certainly moved beautifully on that play. The Hawks argued a little bit that it was over the line, but the red light never did come on.
No score in this first period with 2 minutes and 54 seconds to go, and Ellis has 36 seconds left in his penalty. So Stan Mikita comes out on the power play, and as a rule, he's usually out there. I guess because they're getting the Buffalo, they're giving him a rest tonight. Comes back to the blue line. Knocked off the boards again. And as Howell tried to center, Bond broke that up, and Keon finds an opening and shoots the puck down the ice. Bobby held back for it. Dropping it to Dennis Hull. Dennis Hull at his own blue line, over center. Just shoots it in, off the boards. Plante stopped it, slipped into the corner. Rick Lee cleared it, but not out. Here's Bobby Hull's shot, and that was a great save, and Keon's going down the right wing of Monahan. Monahan waits, Keon lets one go as Esposito stopped that. Dennis Hull in his own zone as the Leafs are back at full strength. Monahan skates Curl off. Lee had it knocked by his skates. Monahan back for it. Billy Monahan. Over the blue line to center. Mikita has him covered. Mikita knocks him down. But he hooks the puck into the Hawk zone. Keon after it. Keon, a back pass, goes behind the net. Stan Mikita comes up with it. McMillan had a piece of him. Cole comes to center for Dennis Hull. Bob Bond stopped that. Here's Cole closing right in. And Josh Clark stopped that one. Bond to Keon with Sittler. The pass for Sittler was too far. Magnuson off the boards, hands it to Keon. Sittler tried to get it back to him. He did. Keon sent it out in front, and Nesterenko intercepts. Nesterenko shoots it out to center ice. McMillan then intercepted a pass intended for Lou Angotti. Angotti's got it now.
Last minute of play in this period.
He was given a heavy jolt by Vaughn. Sittler couldn't get to it. Then Harrison does and shoots it into the Chicago zone. Esposito carrying it around on the boards. Daryl Sittler stopped it and fanned on in first try. Lets another one go that Magnuson blocked, and Nesterenko feeds Angotti. Angotti over center. Flips the puck into the Hawk zone. Danny O'Shea was flopped way out of his net. He's over, and he held it for a face-off. Jacques Plante doing a lot of skating in this first period. 32 seconds left, and there's no score. There's the time remaining on the Sports Timer here at Maple Leaf Gardens. Henderson, Ullman, and Ellis come out with McKinney and Pellick. And Gotti, Nesterenko, Danny O'Shea, Jarrett, and Magnuson. And Gotti flipping it. Jimmy McKinney goes back to the net. Now he pulls away. Here he comes to his own blue line up at center. Over the red line, over the blue line, trying to cut in, sending it for Ullman, and Gotti was right there to cover. And Gotti then checked by Ullman, trying to kick it loose. Henderson trying to dig it out. It goes to Ullman. Ullman back to Pellick. His shot hit Nesterenko. It goes sliding down the ice. 1 second left. Quad leaves it there for Pellick. And there goes the bell to end the first period. And Maple Leaf Gardens in Toronto, Hockey Night in Canada.
Dave Hodge is in the intermission studio. He may look a little younger at this particular point, but he's...
Stan Mikita and a lot of...
Oh, no, I watched Hull there and Elmer Vasco and all, you know, the list goes on and on. So I was ready for Stan with the right ways and a great ability to put people at ease. Maybe not right away, but after the initial chuckle is over. And you know, I felt as though I knew him, and maybe he felt as though he knew me a little better because of the St. Catharines background. But it's easy from a few standpoints. Paul Henderson, the only player with a helmet, and Paul Henderson was the pre-Summit Series
Paul Henderson.
That's right.
And as we're watching him now, he isn't a household name necessarily, but he stands out because of the helmet and for other reasons. Darryl Sittler was in his second Leaf season, and of course Dave Keon was still the Maple Leaf captain, and old Jake the Snake, the pioneer of the wandering style, and he does a lot of that, and of course of the mask. And the mask was reasonably new for all goalies. There were other goalies in the NHL in this season that didn't wear a mask. And I think there was a highlight in the telecast of Joe Daly in Detroit who was without a mask. So that's some context of where we are in 1971.
Leaf Defense Corps, Rick Lee, Brad Selwood, Jimmy Harrison, Bernie Perrant, all would leave for the World Hockey Association.
Occasion during the first period came all the way out almost to the blue line to stop a play. No score between the Hawks and the Toronto Maple Leafs. Referee Art Skov calls the two teams to center ice to start the second period. The two linesmen, Ron Hogarth and Leon Stickle, and Stan Nikita will start at center ice with Chris Coral, number 20, on the right side. Dennis Hull on the left, Keith Magnuson, and Doug Jarrett, Keon McMillan, Monahan, along with Rick Lee and Bob Bone. And we're all set to go now. Keon gets the draw, back to Bond, over to Lee. Lee moves to the blue line to Bond at center. Long shot, right on. Esposito stopped that, tipped her into the corner. McMillan tried to center it. Dennis Hull along the boards. Monahan taps the Hawk player Coral, but Coral comes up with it. Coral back for Magnuson. Magnuson around on the boards for Jarrett. Jarrett to Makita. Makita going down at center. Over the blue line. Dropped it back to Coral. He didn't expect it. He is grabbed by Magnuson. Shot out to center ice. Magnuson, then a pass for Makita. Then for Coral. Dennis Hull going in alone. Takes the shot. Oh, let it go. And a great save by Clark. Coral went to the boards. Dennis Hull gets in it. Kicks it loose into the corner. And it's McMillan coming out of his own zone to his own blue line, up at center. Over the Hawk line. On his pass, Esposito shot it into the corner. McMillan again given a bump by Jarrett. And they hold it for a face-off. Dennis Hull was in alone. Pat Stapleton in possession. A pass. Deflects to Pittmartin. Pittmartin up at center over the red line. Up to the loose blue line and over. And he just shot it into the corner. And Gorey goes back for it. Slant tipped it by him. It's centered out. Slant comes all the way to the blue line and out. Pat Stapleton is shoved off the puck by Ellis. Normie Elman coming up to the Hawk line. Clears it into the corner. Races after with White. Takes the puck off White. But Pat Stapleton's there. Stapleton passed. Brad Selwood pulled it out and shot it in again. And, of course, that's offside. 18-13 to go in the second period. There's no score between the Hawks and the Leafs.
There's Bobby Hull's big milestone. Second highest scorer all time in the NHL. Ranking behind Gordie Howe.
That's Stapleton. Up at center. A pass for Hull, broken up by Ellis. Stapleton shoots the puck into the Leaf zone. Brad Selwood back to the goal. Selwood off the boards, went by, and got a piece of the stick of Pat Stapleton, so Bill White will pick it up, and there's no icing on the call. Pat Stapleton, pass for Bobby Hull. It's picked off by Mackey. Mackey at center, a long shot. Let that go over top of the net. The rebound to Ellis. Ron Ellis for Paul Henderson, broken up by Bill White. He shot it in front of the net. Brad Selwood after it. Selwood comes out with a pass to Henderson. Henderson back for Dory. Jim Dory starting down the ice over his own blue line. At center, a pass for Ullman over the line to Henderson. Henderson going to the goal. Made the save. Ullman trying to set it up again. Only to have Pittmartin get it ahead to Mackey. Got it in over the blue line. Selwood shoved to the boards. Martin gets it loose. The back of the goal. Mackey tried to set up Bobby Hull. Dick Martin. Brad Selwood gets his skate on it. Then up for Ellis. To Ullman. Ullman and Henderson together. Henderson couldn't keep it in. Jim Dory. To Brad Selwood. Off the boards for Ellis. Into Ullman, going in with Henderson again. Ullman tried to center it, he did, and it went by Dory and picked off by Kiko Mackey for Bobby Hull. Hull was giving a shove off the puck. Ellis. Then to Ullman. Ullman couldn't get around Pat Stapleton, and Stapleton brings it back. Henderson intercepted that one, and he couldn't get loose. Stapleton to Bobby Hull. Back to Stapleton. With Brian Campbell. Campbell let it hop off the stick. Ellis gets it out to center. Harrison out there. White pass was intercepted by Selwood. Up it goes to Sittler. Sittler up to Crutchy. Over the line. Back for Crutchy. Crutchy getting set. Finish set. Crutchy's long shot. Take a look at that again as they see Darryl Sittler. Said he got cracked. He hit a watch Harrison in that goal mouth, because I'm pretty sure he knocked Esposito down as he steered in there. There's the collision right there. And there's no way that Esposito can get by Harrison to get back at that puck, and he was in there pretty deep, and I don't know whether he made contact with Tony or not. But a good shot by Darryl, or a good setup play there by Darryl Sittler.
Toronto goal scored by number 11, Trottier. Assist number 27, Sittler, and number 3, Selwood. The time, 4:20.
4:20 is the time of the goal. Trottier gets it out to center ice again. Jarrett waits. His shot hit Harrison. Harrison's going to break away. He's going in alone. Right it on goal. He shoots goal. And Tony Esposito made a dazzling save on that one. And Mike Pellet knocked his man down. Sittler shot right out. Esposito stopped that. Then Crutchy centered it. There's going to be a penalty here. And then Harrison gets it Magnuson.
I believe this is a continuance of that feud of the last Chicago-Toronto game in Chicago. With this last shift, we've certainly seen more body contact than we have the previous first period.
This is Hockey Night in Canada for Maple Leaf Gardens in Toronto.
Were as in the goal crease as you could possibly be, and nobody on the Chicago team said a word about it. Maybe Tony Esposito thought, I won't let in any more, and I'm not going to make a fuss about this one. But it amazes me now to see an example in 1971 when the rule was cut and dried. I mean, you shouldn't have been in the goal crease or anywhere near it. Yeah, it wasn't quite as...
Minutes for roughing. Toronto penalty to number 7, Harrison. 2 minutes for slashing and 2 minutes for roughing. The time, 4:55.
Double minor to Harrison and a single.
We get a chance to take a look at Jimmy Harrison as he broke away and stopped that shot by Jarrett, and he went in and made the move on Esposito. Watch Esposito with that lateral movement as he moved beautifully to his right. Harrison making the fake here on his backhand, and he lost control of the puck as he went to take it on his backhand and throw it up. But that Esposito certainly moved across there well. I believe he might have had him cut off even had he got the puck on the end of his stick. And just shortly after that, Harrison and Magnuson became embroiled in their little scuffle, and
well, it wasn't a major attraction because they only got 2-minute minors for roughing, although there was an additional penalty for slashing. There's the score. Toronto 1, Chicago nothing. But they'll play on even terms until Magnuson returns. Harrison will serve an additional 2 minutes. 15:05 remaining in the second period as Doug Jarrett has possession for the Hawks. Jerry Korab, number 22, out for the first time in the game, playing on the defense. Martin leaving it for Mackey, over to Jarrett. Jarrett, a pass over to Korab. Korab just squeaks around, back to Jarrett. Up at center ice. Pitt Martin coming to the Leaf line. He's checked. Jarrett finally shoots it into the Leaf zone. Long traps it there for Rick Lee. Lee was checked by Mackey. Rick Lee dropping it to Monahan. Monahan for Lee to Keon. Keon up at center. Over the line. Stop. A pass over for Monahan. Back to Bond. Here's his shot right on. Good save by Esposito. Korab. Checked by Keon. Keon back to Bond. Bond hits Pico Mackey. Mackey to Jarrett. Back to Mackey up over the blue line. Here's his shot. Slot knocked that down. Bob Bond. Checked by Pitt Martin. It goes to Mackey. Trying to set up Jarrett in front. And he and Bond collided, but the puck slides out to center. 28 seconds left in Magnuson's penalty. Rick Lee. With Monahan. Pass for Monahan. Went by him. Esposito shot it off the glass. Nesrenko can't get it out. Lee is finally checked by Nesrenko. Comes out. Monahan skates him off, and Keon gets possession. Keon to Bond. That's for Lee. Now Magnuson's on the ice, and the Leafs are short-handed. Rick Lee takes a shot down the ice. Dennis Terry comes over the boards, so does Dory, Pellick, and Selwood. The Hawks with an advantage, led by Pat Stapleton, Sam Nikita, and Bobby Hull. Hull had the pass behind him. It goes to the glass. Cleared back here to Pat Stapleton. He's getting set to Bobby Hull. Into the corner for Angotti. Angotti couldn't control it. Pellick and Carroll bump together. The puck goes to Angotti, around for Makita. He let it go. There's nobody there. And Dennis Terry and Pat Stapleton. Dennis Terry comes up with a puck. Tried to set up Dory. Comes out to Brad Selwood. Selwood just shoots it down the ice. Pat Stapleton is stopped, and here comes Bobby Hull. He gets it to Angotti. Angotti up at center to Makita. Makita over the line, way outside. Angotti and Dory. And Pellick stepped into Carroll. 11:55 remaining in the second period. 50 seconds left in the penalty to Jimmy Harris. Duterre to Dory, up for Pellick. Too hard for Duterre. Shot off the boards, then to Dennis Hull to Stan Makita. Makita gets over the blue line. Had the puck at the line. Shot it into Dennis Hull. Dennis Hull to Bobby Hull, and he couldn't get a shot away. Kind of center right in front, and Josh Cross got that and holds on to it.
Number 21, Stan Makita, who was Dave's intermission guest, and you never know he was playing with a chronic back ailment, would you?
No, certainly wouldn't. Hawks playing every man up. 30 seconds left in Harrison's penalty. Here's Bobby Hull. Takes the shot. Over to Mag. Mag takes his shot. Can't stop that. He's got it again and holds on to it. Sam Makita. Quite a lesson for youngsters just to watch him get that face-off.
Well, he's deadly in those face-offs, either offensively or defensively.
11:28 remaining in the second period. There you see the number of seconds remaining in the penalty to Harrison, 23. And the Leafs have Keon, Bond, Lee, and Monahan. As Bobby Hull's shot was wide of the net. Dennis Hull took a whack at it with Bond. Then it's cleared back to the goal for Monahan. Monahan is passed into the boards by Mag. Down with Monahan. Keon lapped it the rest of the way down the ice. And Monahan going off for a rest after that bang into the boards. Henderson comes over the boards. Now that Harrison is out there, a long pass for Dennis Hull. Dennis Hull goes after it. And he is Makita knocked off the puck by Lee. Jimmy Harrison. Up for Keon. Back for Harrison too far. Maggs is checked by Harrison. Harrison trying to get by Bobby Hull and center it. And Maggs shoots it around on the board. Dennis Hull then for Stan Makita. Back to Bobby Hull. Over the line. Broken up. Then Bobby Hull's got it again with a shot, and that's off for the deflection wide. It comes out past Henderson, and Keon trying to throw it down the ice. With Ellis and Henderson. To Henderson. Henderson shoots. And it's shot wide. Back to Stan Makita at center. To the lead, flying over. Took a shot, and it was weak and wide. Lee trying to cover up back in the net. He does. Play is called, and we have 10:02 remaining in the second period as it seems we're just starting to open up a little bit. This is Hockey Night in Canada from Maple Leaf Gardens in Toronto. Henderson, you saw, skated into the circle, and so the face-off would take place again. This time Ullman gets the draw. Pellick goes to the boards and decides to hold it there. Do it all over. Trache from Sittler and Selwood, 4:20 of the second period, 1-0 Toronto. 9:59 remaining in the second period. Mike Pellick for Paul Henderson. Ullman races after it. And Henderson picks up a loose puck. Over the line for Ullman and Ellis. Then Mike Pellick takes his shot. He gets hit the target. McKinney lets one go. Ullman took a whack at it. Here's Henderson late and shot. And on a shot. Danny O'Shea then up at center. Stopped by Pellick again. And Pellick shoots it off the glass. Into the Hawk zone. Keith Magnuson. Then for Doug Jarrett. Just shot it down the ice. Jim McKinney back for it. Over for Mike Pellick. Pellick gets stopped by Campbell. Campbell for O'Shea. Broken up by Ullman. Pellick offside. Nine minutes and 10 seconds to go in the second period. Now we have a complete change of players. As Angotti comes out on the forward line, they're going to use Korab on the left wing with Nestorenko on the right side. That's quite a big line.
Well, that's a new formation because Jerry Korab normally a defenseman, and this is the first time we've seen him up on the forward line.
It goes by Bill White into a hot zone. Harrison beaten to the puck. Trache comes out, trying to get his shot. There, Sittler trying to keep it in, and White finally gets it out to center. Dory's pass back to Selwood, and he just got it down the ice. And White goes back for it. Bill White coming out of his own zone with a pass for Angotti. Stopped by Dory. Dory's pass. Trache follows up. He gets over the line. Trache trying to get him shot. Finish. It's just off the target. Harrison. And Sittler tried to combine. Nestorenko's pass for Korab. Korab has the puck in the loose zone. He's shot from the point. He shot hit Selwood. And it's Sittler now pulling away. Pass for Harrison. Harrison closing in. Here's his shot. Great save by Tony Esposito. Back up for Stapleton over the line. A drop pass to Angotti. A shot. Oh! Playing stop, but couldn't get a shot away. Bill White is right. He's there. Bill White, right around the ice.
Now we see justice here for Angotti dumping that puck, and this little drop pass here from Stable, and Nestorenko's on the way by, just tipping it past the open net, but he picked up his rebound in the corner, dumped out a perfect pass to Bill White, and all the time in the world as he fired that one along the ice. Jock Font, partially screened by Dory, didn't have a
Chicago goal scored by number 2, White. Assist number 15, Nestorenko, and number 6, Angotti. The time, 12:04.
Nestorenko and Angotti assisting on a perfect shot by Bill White, his second of the year, icing called against Chicago. 7 minutes and 47 seconds remaining in the second period. Garrett shot the puck to center ice. The Leafs shoot it right back to Lee to Monahan. He pokes it into the corner, goes after it with Magnuson. Magnuson comes up with it, bringing it up to the blue line. Pitt Martin at center couldn't get anywhere. Monahan then covers the check. Martin and Lee bump together. Bob Bond. For Lee, then to Keon. Keon with Monahan. Monahan back to Keon, back to Monahan. Monahan stops to McMillan. It comes to Lee. There's his shot. That missed the target. Bond lets one go, and that's stopped by Garrett. Garrett headmans the puck to Pitt Martin at center. He's checked by Lee. Monahan for Keon. And Magnuson broke that up to Pitt Martin. Pitt Martin centering it right in front. He can not be a shot. It's right in front of the goal, and Josh Braun covers up.
Well, the game certainly opened up to the comparison of the first period.
1 week from tonight, next Saturday, December 18th, sees the return of Punch Imlach and the Buffalo Sabres to Toronto in a game brought to you in part by Molson's, brewers of Molson Golden Ale and Molson Canadian Lager Beer.
Tony Esposito has gone over to the hot bench. Get a new stick. There he is. Made a great save on Jimmy Harrison.
You know, how often have you seen it? They make a great save at one end, come right back to the other end and score. And we had a beautiful case of it that period.
So we have 6:37 left as McKinney has possession of the puck in his own zone. McKinney long pass to Henderson by him. Bill White. For Stapleton to Dennis Hull, back to Stapleton, over to White again. At center ice, Ullman. Checked by Sam Makita, who goes up over the blue line. Makita takes a look, a pass, and shot it wide, trying to center it. Henderson comes up with it to McKinney. McKinney straight down the ice to the hot blue line. Bill has it to Henderson. For Ellis. Stapleton selling center X shot. Pollock then to Ullman. Trying to center it. Back of the goal for Stapleton. He shot it around. Ellis blocked it. A shot in front, knocked by Stapleton. Gets it to Makita. Makita to Dennis Hull over the line. Centered it right in front of Makita. Shot. Another shot. And a good save by Plum. Now it's a chance for the Leafs. Henderson. Ellis off five. Ellis went in advance of the puck carrier, and that nullified a dangerous rush. Just after a first call to defense.
Sam Makita at a difficult angle at that other end, but Plonk coming out, cutting off the angle.
On the out-of-town scoreboard, Montreal and Minnesota are tied 1-1. Boston over Vancouver 2-1, and Philadelphia's come back to tie Detroit 3-3 in the second period. Buffalo leading Pittsburgh at first 2-1. Got front, nearly gave the puck away at the side of the net. McKinney covers up. Ahead for Ullman. Ullman is chased out of the play by Jarrett. Brian Campbell turns number 14. He's got one off the leg. Down went Coro, and it's Mike Pellick and to Ullman again with Ellis. Ellis missed the pass, but it was off Danny O'Shea's leg. Ellis trying to center it for Henderson. Brian Campbell gets it up for Coro. Coro stopped by Dory. Dory gets it out. Magnuson brings it back in again. A pass intercepted by Henderson. Then Henderson lost it. Brad Selwood over the blue line, coming up at center. His long shot. Esposito deflects that off the glass. Sittler leaves it for Trottier. Back to Sittler, trying to set up Ullman. He's Trottier. Back to Sittler. Shot! Saved by Esposito. Danny O'Shea back of the net. Shot by Ullman. Ullman trying to center it. He's Magnuson, then to Campbell. Stopped by Brad Selwood for Trottier. Trottier shot it over the line. Jarrett stopped it and gave it to Magnuson. Harrison after Magnuson. Harrison Up over the leaf line outside. Play is called. Harrison of the Leafs will get the gate. Harrison for charging at 16-15. I don't think there's any doubt in that one.
I'll tell you, Coach Johnny McFarland of the Leafs was a little perturbed over that, and he doesn't usually get too excited, but he was right over the bench yelling at referee Art Stove on that call.
We have 3 minutes and 45 seconds left in the second period. The score is tied 1-1. The Hawks with a man advantage. There's been 4 penalties in the second period, 3 to the Leafs and 1 to the Hawks. In the first period, there were 4 penalties, 3 to the Leafs and 1 to the Hawks. There's the time remaining, 3:40. A 1-1 tie as Duperre gets the draw to Dory. Dory to Duperre, up to Mike Pellick. Back it comes to Brad Philwood. Philwood a long shot. Esposito drove back. Got a shot by Brad Philwood from his own blue line. It was still rising when it went over the net. Back up for Pat Stapleton. A pass to Bobby Hull. He's checked back in the superior. Andre Lacroix. 18 overskates the puck. Dropped it back to Pat Stapleton. He shot it in. Josh Clark came out of the net, tipped it off to the side. Pellick shot it off the boards down the ice. Esposito back to the net as Dennis Duperre lost the glove. Gets another one on the way back. Over the line for Pitt Martin, and Duperre falling gets the puck down the ice, and glove is actually in the net behind Esposito. Andre Lacroix to Bobby Hull at his own blue line. The Hawks with the man advantage. Up over the blue line, Bobby Hull is covered. It's knocked out by Keon. Mackey back to Stapleton. Stapleton ahead for Bobby Hull. It hit Lee. Carried back, but it's offside at the Maple Leaf blue line with 2:18 left and 33 seconds remain in the penalty to Jimmy Harrison. So 1-1 tie.
Number 18, Andre Lacroix, who just picked up recently in a trade with Philadelphia, and I think Billy Ray was looking for some additional strength at center ice, but tonight he's been playing left wing.
Now, of course, as you mentioned right at the beginning of the game, Jimmy Pappin's out. Clock was checked. Mag's trying to center it. Long shot around the boards. Bobby Hull steers it back into the corner. It goes to Makita. Makita to Mag. Bang, still in possession. Back to Dennis Hull. Look out, there's a hard shot. Great save by Jack Clark with his left hand. A rising slap shot by Dennis Hull. Score remains 1-1. 11 seconds left in the penalty to Harrison. He's standing up at the penalty box. Keon, Monahan, Lee, and Bond. Makita, Dennis Hull, Maggs, White, and Stapleton. Dennis Hull, another shot. This time it's wide. Bill White lets one go, a weak one. Bond then up to Keon. Keon goes down the ice. With Monahan, over the line to Monahan. Monahan shoots! And Esposito stopped that. Jimmy Harrison intercepted a pass at the blue line, was dumped. Stapleton gets up slowly. Keon back to Lee. Lee at center. He shoots the puck in. It goes back to the net. Esposito stopped it there. Keon nearly intercepted that pass. Comes out to Sam Makita. Makita to White. Way over center to the Leaf line. Gets into him. And down he went. A pass for Henderson at center. With McMillan over the line. Henderson trying to get around Stapleton. He couldn't.
Play in this
and
period.
Henderson for Keon outside at the Chicago blue line. There's been a couple of real hefty checks thrown out on the ice that time. Bond measuring Bill White with a hefty check, but you notice how quickly he bounced up. A 1-1 tie with 58 seconds remaining. Second period. Gauthier and White have been the goal scorers. There was no scoring in the first period. Nesterenko will face off with Ullman. To Ellis. Ellis shoots the puck into the Chicago zone. Magnuson and Jarrett go back for it. Magnuson in possession. Got it off the glass, out to center ice. Jim McKinney shooting it back again, only in doing so he shot it into the Leaf bench. Hellman against Dan Gotti. To Ellis, back to Pellick. Over to McKinney. McKinney. A long shot. Esposito stopped that. Henderson went after the loose puck. Ullman keeps it in. Tried to set up Henderson. And Gotti checked by Ullman. Ullman in front to Ellis. And then again shoots. Esposito made the save on his backhand. There's Omi Ullman stealing the puck. Ellis is out in front. He's trying to control it. He finally gets it. There's the backhand. Esposito didn't make a move. And he smothers the puck, and there's no rebound. A great play by Ullman, and Esposito outguessing Ronnie Ellis. So the score remains 1-1 with 19 seconds left in the second period. Mackey, Makita, and Bobby Hull out there now with Stapleton and White. And Makita gets that draw. Ullman goes after it, though. Stapleton comes up with it, a pass to Makita. Makita in his own zone with 11 seconds. Makita's long shot. Can't play there with his feet for some reason. It's intercepted. Now he comes out of the net. McKinney goes back to the goal. There goes the bell. And the second period is over. It's a 1-1 tie for Maple Leaf Gardens in Toronto. United Center.
Chicago Blackhawks get a goal from Bill White from Eric Nesterenko and Lou and Gotti. Leafs TV.
We have the teams coming out on the ice now for the third and final period. And the score tied 1-1. Shots on goal in the first period by Toronto 11, Chicago 8. In the second period by Toronto 13, by Chicago 8. 4 penalties in the first period, 3 to the Leafs and 1 to Chicago. 4 penalties in the second period, 3 to the Leafs and 1 to Chicago. Stan Mikita coming out at center ice for the Hawks. As referee Art Skov gets official recognition from behind the net. The goal judges flashing their red lights. And we're all set to go now. Maggs has moved out on the right side with Dennis Hull on the left. Keon at center, Monahan and McMillan on the wings. Lee and Bond on the defense. Magnuson and Jarrett for the Hawks. Play underway. Jarrett to Dennis Hull. Dennis Hull over center. Tried to go through. Monahan tipped it out again. Magnuson shoots it in. Bond knocked it down with his glove. A pass for Keon to Monahan. Back to Keon. Into the goal. Back out to Mag. Over on the left wing for Dennis Hull. Over the blue line. Gets around Bond. There's a hard shot, and that went high. Picked up by Monahan. Monahan to McMillan. McMillan for Keon. Keon shoots right on. Esposito stopped that. Esposito fixing a bit of his equipment. Now he's all ready to go. Referee talking to him. Leafs are going to make a change. Send out Ullman, Henderson, Ellis, Gorey, and Stillwood. We have a 1-1 tie going in this final period. We just started. Took Martin now to face off against Ullman. It came right in front of the net. Pat Stapleton brings it out. He hit Ullman. Goes to Dory. For Henderson to Ullman. Back to Stillwood. Over to Jim Dory. Dory coming at center. A pass to Ellis. Ellis. For Ullman outside. went outside the blue line on the second try by Ellis, and of course the linesman then called it. Well, right the first time. But when he tried to lay the pass over, he drew the puck right outside the blue line. Well, Stowwood shoots the puck in, back of the hot goal. Esposito left it there for Bill White. White starting out with a pass to Kip Martin. Then to Bobby Howell. Bobby Howell up over center. To the loose line, around Ellis. Oh, and Clark got a piece of that. Bobby Howell trying to center it. Jim Dory. It's checked by Chico Mackey. It's shot into the corner. Ron Ellis. Shot by Bobby Howell. Howell, Chico Mackey, a shot. Clark stopped that. The rebound. Dory off the board. Then it's going into the crowd. And the Hawks came awfully close to breaking this 1-1 deadlock.
Look at that Leaf bench with Coach Johnny McClellan standing behind Bobby Bond, Ricky Lee. And that was a great save by Jock Fonte to come out on a tremendous angle, cut down that angle as Bobby Hall was going down the left board.
On the face-off, Coral is knocked down. Ellis couldn't come out with it. Now he does. To Selwood. Selwood coming over center, and he shoots it in. And the Leafs pour in after it. Alman's the first man in for it, but Garrett there to cover him. They knock it loose. Garrett gets his skate on it finally. Play is called. Danny O'Shea had a hold of Alman. Macy off from the Hawks, thrown to the left. Score is tied, 1-1. Skating into the circle was Brian Campbell, number 14, which means another face-off. Okay, got the draw this time to Jarrett. Jarrett to Magnuson. Magnuson back for O'Shea. Broken up by Ellis to Dory. Jim Dory for Ullman. To Ellis. Ellis closes in. Goes back in the net. Gets it back to Dory. Dory let his shot go. Magnuson knocks it down. Shot it out. Brad Selwood off the board. Ullman couldn't get out in time. Going all the way back into the loose zone for an intentional outside at the blue line. Bob Tony Esposito is still having trouble with those pads of his.
They haven't been doing too badly for him because he's played pretty good hockey so far tonight.
Seems to be having trouble with the bottom strap. Now the play is underway and Tulloch to McKinney. Around it goes to Tuccier. Tuccier gets the puck out to center ice. Campbell goes away from Harrison. Brian Campbell over the line. Getting in set for a shot, and Clark stopped that. Jim McKinney for Jim Harrison. Broken up. Jared lets the high shot go up into the end blue. Face-off will be outside the blue line. 17-11. Remaining in this hockey game. There's the score, 1-1. Duran Gotti out there now with Nestorenko and Korab. Jim McKinney. To Harrison. Harrison couldn't get away, and Gotti just shoots it in, and the Hawks are content to forecheck the Leafs in their own zone and look for the break. Jimmy Harrison comes out. Pulls away from Gotti to center, gets over the red line, shot it in. It's back of the net, Esposito. And he left it there, and Gotti gets a break with White. Gotti coming up at center to Korab. Korab trying to cut in on the left wing. McKinney intercepts. Up to Harrison, to Pellick. Pellick shot the puck over the line outside as Harrison went in advance of the shot by Mike Pellick. Looking at that scoreboard, it's Minnesota and Montreal 2-2. After 2 periods, Boston leading Vancouver 4-1. In the third, Detroit has gone ahead of Philadelphia 4-3, and still a tie between Pittsburgh and Buffalo in the third period, 2-2. And it's 1-1 here. As Darryl Sittler off the glass. Bill White covers up. Darryl Sittler after him stapled and took White's pass to Angotti. Angotti tried to break between McKinney and Pellick. Pellick grabbed a hold of him. Ends up in the corner. Angotti trying to get it back, and Mike Pellick has it. Pellick with Sittler. Pellick a long shot. A nice save by Esposito. Picked off by Bill White. Up to Jerry Korab, and his shot went to Lee. Lee right back to Korab. And Jim McKinney. For Trache, he doesn't know where he is. They've got a change on the go. White moves up to center. And he shoots it in the link zone, and it's stopped by Plot. Rick Lee. To Darryl Sittler with Jimmy Harrison. Harrison going over the hot line. Back for Sittler in front of the net. Picked off by Stapleton, who shot it out. Vaughn off the board. Billy McMillan out there. Monahan and Keon out. Akita pass. It's hopping for Dennis Hall. He should have whacked at it. Dennis Hall fights for it. Trying to center it. Keon gets it up at center. Akita then picks it up. More Dennis Hall broken up by Keon, but it was offside at the blue line. 14:44 remaining.
There's Brian Glennie, who is not dressed tonight, standing in the corridor just between the two benches, and he's right in that hockey game watching that clock.
Rick Lee over to Bob Bond. Bond then to Lee. Then to Keon, back to Lee. Coming up at center. A pass for Keon, and that was broken up. Keith Magnuson shooting it out on the left side of Dennis Hull. A long shot, gloved by Jock Clark to Gary Monahan. Around on the boards, but not out. Magnuson getting set for a shot and hit Monahan. Monahan races after it. Esposito comes over the net. Giving a shove. Monahan has the puck. Over. Quickly a shot. That's knocked down. It's tipped in by Monahan. Right in front to Keon. He shoots. Keon hit the post. As he had Esposito cold. And it went right back out. Now you don't come any closer than that. Now here that chance for the hop. And Dennis Hull nearly had one in the corner. Up to McMillan. McMillan at center. He's had the puck taken away from him. Magnuson. The players calling as the red whistle offside.
Keon, a beautiful move by Billy McMillan, as you said it here, and Keon's shot had Tony Esposito beaten on the short side, hit the post and came out behind him, and the Leafs unable to get somebody in front of that net, but a fine play by Bill McMillan, and we've got a little conference going on now as Chicago has drawn a penalty.
A bench penalty, goalie, for too many men on the ice.
Well, it's not too often you'll see that happen. Just in case if somebody wasn't in the hockey game and jumped on a little too early, it's a bad time for any of the hockey. Either of these two teams to get a penalty.
Now the Leafs have the odd man.
Chicago penalty will be served by number 7.
Here's a set by Elman, a shot. Henderson took a whack at it. And McKeely got hit in the face.
That one, Tony Esposito, right off the bat, was waiting for the trainer to come out. As he went down in a real hurry, that puck must have flipped right up off Tony Esposito's pad. We get a chance to look at it again on the replay. As here's Paul Henderson getting that puck. And there's the puck coming here. Right there. Oh, and it's deflected right straight up off Henderson's stick. Caught him flush, and I would imagine while he's making his way to the bench now, maybe we'll be able to get a report on it. He's holding a bandage to the side of his face. But as soon as we get something on it, we'll pass it along. Let's hope it isn't serious enough to keep him out of this last period.
Oh, boy, that puck just came right up.
Straight up. It looked like it was deflected, but it came directly off Paul Henderson's stick. I thought it was a rebound at Collins.
Bobby Hull is certainly having a lot to say to the linesman.
He wants that face-off outside the blue line because he claims Chicago had possession of the puck, but the call was made, and that's where it'll be. And that.
Well, of course, it could have worked both ways, because if they let the play go, at least would have had the Hawks would have been to 2-man at disadvantage because of him being hurt. Back for Jim Dory. 1 minute and 44 seconds left in Martin's penalty. Bobby Hull went down as Dory comes back at center. He shot the puck around on the boards. Here's Henderson after it. Gets it back to Dory. Dory lets his shot go. Henderson is shot. Howard Ullman a backhand. He missed the corner. Jim Dory. A pass from Bobby Hull intercepts. To Chico Mackey. Chico Mackey for Bobby Hull. And he gets told to get to it. Goes back into the hot zone. Esposito to Jarrett. Jarrett off the boards, hit Henderson. Now then Ullman. Checked by Bobby Hull. Gets over the line. Clears it back to Jarrett. 53 seconds. And Chico Mackey. Shoots it back into his own zone. Henderson goes after Magnuson. Magnuson's there ahead of him. Cleared it to the blue line. Hull gets it out. And Dory. Passing it right to Mackey. Here's a chance for Angotti. And he's cleared off by Dory again. It's back in the net for Angotti. And then Ullman gets it. Ullman coming out of his own zone to center. Goes over the line. Joe has it. Goes back to the goal. Angotti was checked by Henderson. Ullman gets it back to McKinney. McKinney took his shot. And that's a press wide and into the corner where Neslenko shoots it down the ice. Back on the ice comes Sid Martin. He fell. McKinney comes out. Leading the attack. Over the half line. Part of the through the front. And Martin covered up. Comes out over the blue line. Rick Leestock takes it over the line. And he's checked. Neslenko coming down the right wing. Pass to Kit Martin. Martin shot it right on and grabbed by Jacques Conklin. It's called. 10:57 remaining in the hockey game. A 1-1 tie. Sittler is going to take the face-off. It comes back to Stapleton again. Oh, shot, and Harrison pulling it off. Jimmy Harrison around on the boards for Vaughn. Vaughn fails to get it out. Dennis Hull a long shot. Darryl Sittler trying to pull away on the left side, only to have Bill White take over for the Hawks. For Pitt Martin, Harrison checked from behind by Mag. Has gets it over to Dennis Hull and to Pitt Martin. Goes into the first.
Play set up beautifully by Dennis Hull as he took that long lead pass from Darryl Mag. And seeing Pitt Martin come into the center, just dumped it back into that open spot. Bob Bond going down to try to block it. A 2-on-1 play. And Pitt Martin getting that hard shot away, beating Jock Fawn on his glove side. Fawn almost had a piece of that puck with his hand. But a nice play set up well by Dennis Hull.
Chicago goal scored by number 7, Martin. Assist number 10, Dennis Hull, and number 17, Mag. The time, 9:34.
9:34, and that took my 10th of the year from Dennis Hull and Mag. Ellie McMillan to Pellick, then to McMillan. Over to Monahan, outside Keon. Bill, the report from down below on San Makita is that he is cut over and under his right eye, but is not serious, and we expect to be back. Chicago 2, Toronto 1 with 10 minutes exactly remaining. Mike Pellick for Monahan. Failed to get away. Monahan trying again. Goal to Campbell. Stopped by Monahan. He hands it right back to Campbell. This time Campbell makes sure he gets it in the league zone. Jim McKinney to Dave Keon. Back to McKinney. McKinney got it off the boards for Keon, the best offside.
Hockey Night in Canada returns next week with two fine games. On Wednesday, it's the Pittsburgh Penguins against the Leafs, while 1 week from tonight, the visitors will be the Buffalo Sabres. Those games will be brought to you in part by Ford of Canada, on behalf of your Ford and Mercury dealers.
Keon gets his shot away. They were shot by Esposito. It's back of the net along the boards. Mike Pellick moved up. So shoved off the puck, but White makes sure of it, getting it around for Pat Stapleton. Up for O'Shea, broken up by Monahan. And Campbell, O'Shea picks up the loose puck. Coming in front of the shot. That was back another shot. And Brock covered the short side. McKinney. Over for Pellick. Pellick closes in. He's covered. Puck is against the boards. Cole puts it loose to White. White bumped by Monahan. McMillan trying to dig it out. It's underneath Stapleton. Play is called. 8:35 remaining. Lou Angotti taking Sam Makita's place now at center between Bobby Hull and Chico Mackey. Hellman, Henderson, Ellis. Up to Jarrett, getting it out to center. Stopped by Dory to Henderson, who shot the puck into the Chicago zone. You got him! Magnuson, then to Jarrett. Up to center, stopped by Dory again to Henderson. Henderson over the line now for Ellis. Henderson trying to get Hellman set. And it's Magnuson shooting it out to center ice. Dory. Pass up to Ullman again. For Henderson. Henderson stops, can't keep it in. Henderson over to Selwood. Selwood hit the linesman. But Bobby Hull comes up with it. Hull over the blue line, takes back. Bobby Hull coming up the center, gets away from Ullman. Now through the front, passes it back to Angotti, over to Magnuson. Magnuson closes in, and his shot is wide. Jarrett is shot. Chico Mackey in front. Dory hands it to Angotti, and his pass is deflected off to Henderson. For Ellis, over the line. Ellis into the corner, covered there. The puck goes to Ullman, and he handed it to Bobby Hull. Hull trying to go on Selwood. Takes his shot, clock stopped out, and Dory's got it. Up to Ellis. For Lee. Ellis sweeps. A nice glove save by Esposito. Off the boards to Angotti. Right at center. Dory's got it. He shot it behind Dutcher. Angotti gets rid of it. Bond comes up. His long shot. Partially blocked by Jarrett. Magnuson goes back. With 6 minutes and 47 seconds. Dick Martin to Jerry Korab. Harrison bumped into him. Then Korab bumped into Bond. Harrison keeps the puck into the Chicago zone, back of the net for Stapleton. Ernesto Echo, stopped by Sittler to Harrison. For Trottier and Sittler. Sittler gets a loose shot. Great save by Esposito. Chicago 2, Toronto 1, 6:25 left. Tony Esposito is very sharp in that shot of Darryl Sittler. As Sittler came up with a loose puck in the Chicago end from about 35 feet out, and Esposito stopped it and forced the face-off to give Chicago a
chance to change the forward line. And there's Stan Mikita back.
Stan Mikita back at, and he gets the face-off, giving it to Bill White. Around it comes to Dennis Hull. It went out to center ice, stopped by Vaughn, who shot it right back in again. Back for it is Stapleton. Stapleton wasting time with 6:09 remaining. A long pass to center for Dennis Hull. And for Stan Mikita. He's nicely blocked. Harrison fails to get it out. Maggs was cut by Darryl Sittler. Sittler goes down his long wing. Crossing with Harrison. They get all 10 to left. And it's Stan Mikita. Dropping it for Maggs. Maggs took a shot. Vaughn stopped that. Sittler up to Harrison. Harrison over the blue line. Going right through. Taylor goes to the board. Play is called. And we'll have a face-off in the Chicago zone to the left. Chicago 2, Toronto 1. 5:32 remaining. Hawks to Tip Martin, getting it out to center ice. A long shot by Mike Pellick is way high. Goes back up to center ice for McKinney. To Pellick. Set by Tip Martin. Stopped by Pellick for Keon, too far. Jarrett and Magnuson. Keon. Keon races after it. Squeezed off by Magnuson. A pass to Tip Martin. Martin goes down at center. Took a long shot into the corner. Gary Monahan. To Mike Pellick. Pellick, a long shot. Seville stopped that. Shot off the board. Keon trying to keep it in there, but Tip Martin gets it out for Bobby Hull over the board. Takes the shot. And that was just off the corner. Monahan to Pellick. To McMillan. McMillan trying to control it. That's to the side of the net. Keon moved in there as well. McKinney took his shot. That was wide. Pellick gets another one goal, and that's high off the glass. McKinney breaks his stick. Monahan tried to get to it. Bobby Hull coming down the ice. He got two shots there. The clock stopped that, and it goes flying up into the blue. And we have 4 minutes left.
Now, one thing, they may say Bobby Hull's not skating as fast, but he's still shooting it just as hard.
All set to go. Jim Dory. Long pass for Ellis. There's right past Pizzuto. He tipped it off to the wing. Cole is given a bump by Ellis. They're trying to dig it out. Players call in a face-off. Face-off in the off-zone race for claiming a penalty when he deliberately held the puck against the board. Out-of-town scores now. It's Minnesota having a 4-2 lead over Montreal. Boston 4-1, and we have Buffalo now taking a 3-2 lead over Pittsburgh in the third. Detroit and Philadelphia final, 6-3 Detroit. It's Chicago 2, Toronto 1 with 3:42 remaining. Doyle trying to get it out on the wing, and they'll have it.
There's Paul Henderson, and the nose doesn't look too bad after that shot he got on a Wednesday night and broke it. His hockey player is a pretty quick healer.
Jim Dory at center. Over it goes to Brad Selwood. Got the puck back of the net. Esposito left it there. White shot it along the boards to Fitzgerald. Ullman tries to dig it out, so it holds it against the boards again. Jim Dory, a long shot. Esposito deflected it. Stapleton is given a jolt by Ellis. Dennis Hull gets the puck into the lead shot, and it's Jim Dory with 3 minutes and 3 seconds remaining. Trying to get the puck out. It was behind Ullman. Henderson after it. Brink has got him covered. And the Lynx being checked at every move as the Hawks lead 2-1. have to keep our eye on Jack Clark, whether Coach Kenny McCullen is going to make any movement up to it.
Well, with the 2:59, you know he's not going to be moving for a while, but if it gets down to that last few seconds and they get that face-off in the Chicago end, wouldn't be called surprised to see Jack Clark over that tunnel net. It's just a little bit early yet to anticipate.
Harrison with Sittler and Trottier, Bond and Lee. Puck was pushed ahead with a glove, so do it all over again. Nikita, Denisov, Nesterenko, Magnuson, and Jarrett. Harrison. Into Bob Bond. Bob Bond didn't make a play. Tries it twice. Nikita stopped him. Harrison is checked by Nikita again. Then Bond covers Nikita. And it's Trottier for Harrison. Harrison to Sittler. Sittler closing in into the corner. Magnuson got in front of him. Sittler got it loose, but Jarrett was right there to cover up to Dennis Hull. Dennis Hull, a high shot. Clark stopped it. There was a rebound. Dennis Hull in possession. It hit Trottier. G. Trottier's turn. And it's forward near Harrison. Bond knocked it down. Now then Darryl Sittler will try his luck. Sittler over the blue line. Took a shot off Magnuson. Sittler tried to send it again and it hit Magnuson's skate and went over the glass into the crowd. A minute and 57 seconds remaining in the game. Chicago 2, Toronto 1.
With Billy Ray on his play, sending out Danny O'Shea to take the face-off, replacing Pitt Martin.
McMillan took a shot that was wide of the Chicago goal. Bobby Hull shot into center ice. McKinney blocks it. Over with McMillan. Into McKinney. McKinney shoots it. And that goes to the corner. And Kiko Mackey gets rid of it down the ice. Claude is coming out with a minute and 37 seconds. McKinney back for it. McKinney handed it to Pitt Martin. That is set up Bobby Hull. McKinney pass intercepted by Martin over to Bobby Hull.
Beautiful play by Pitt Martin as he held it, and watched Bobby Hull drag that puck from way behind him and just flipped it up on that short side. He just managed to get a stick on it. But Pitt Martin holding that puck until he could get it through to Hull, and of all the good chances Hull's had tonight, and he gets the goal on a chance that he wouldn't really consider that dangerous.
Chicago goal scored by number 9, Bobby Hull. Assist number 7, Martin. Time 18:30.
18:30. The time of Bobby Hull's goal from Martin is 16th of the year. A long shot by Martin off the target. Picked up by Billy McMillan. He's checked by Kiko
Play in the game.
Less than a minute to go as Martin fell. Monahan to McKinney. McKinney again having difficulty getting it out. McMillan unable to get anywhere. Here's a chance for Bill White. And Jack Clark takes it out to center ice. Kiko Mackey then for Dennis Hall. Into the lead zone for Dennis Hall. Takes a hard shot. Clark stopped that one, and it's Mike Pellick. Off the board for Ellis. It goes down the ice. And it's Dennis Hall with it with 24 seconds left. Long pass, intercepted by Dory. Dory shot it over for Ellis. Stapleton shoots it out again. Brad Selwood, a long shot, but it's outside Ellis. 12 seconds remaining. set to go, and got it back to Magnuson. Got it right into Dory. Dory just shoots it the left to the right. Esposito comes up to stop it. He flips it out to center ice. Henderson going to take a shot, but the ball goes to end the game in just a moment. Our 3-5 selection.